This is my personal wall of wheels, things that I've collected over the last 10 or 20 years all around the world, and today we're going to get wheelie nerdy on all things vintage rims. Before we talk about wheels, let's very briefly talk about what connects your wheels to your cars, your suspension. Today's video is brought to us by our very good friends at SoloWerks, who are part of the KW suspension family. I have personally driven tens of thousands of miles on KW, ST, and or SoloWerks suspension. Please support them for supporting us, and again, thank you so much to them for making this possible. I don't just sit around collecting wheels. Most of the cars in my collection are rocking some kind of vintage wheel as well. So let's take a very quick look through some of those cars. Work Equip 40 with limited edition Work 40th anniversary center caps, 4x100, 15 by 8 inch. BBS RF 3-piece 4x100, 15 by 8 inch with a whole bunch of colors. Compomotive TH 1580, which means 15 inch by 8 inch, 4x100 monoblock. Compomotive 1680 TH2, made in England, 1680s, 16 by 8 inch, 4x100. Super rally feel. Magnesium BBS Motorsport 15 by 7.25 with the Motorsport lips. This is pretty wild. Also, 3D printed center cap. Got to get those details right. BBS RS 16 inch, quite narrow, all white but with the gold hardware. 3-piece, of course. Rowan on 12s, 12-inch Almex single piece straight out of Japan. 1552 Formula GT 19-inch. Wait, why a modern set? Because this was the very first set ever produced. They were shipped directly from the factory for this vehicle before it went to SEMA. So there's a fun fact. BBS RS 15-inch 3-piece 4x108. Step 1. How to find some wheels. Swap meets, junkyards, friends, anywhere you possibly can. This set, we're at a Porsche swap meet. They were beat up, battered. The guy with his nice Porsche really didn't think they were worth very much money. Polished, powder coated, lots of elbow grease later, they now look like that. This set of 3-spoke BBSs, some of my favorite wheels in my collection. This was in a German junkyard. The wheels were free. However, I had to buy the 4 snow tires that were attached to them that I did not want. So I bought those, sold the tires, ended up with a set of wheels afterwards. This was in a Volkswagen flea market, an old set of Apt from Germany. Look, they're beat up, there's no paint, no finish left on them, so I got them quite cheap, and then after enough polishing and some powder coat or paint, hopefully they'll look as good as these ones do. So I don't think you need to spend a lot of money necessarily to get your foot in the door. It's just knowing where to look or what to look for. And then, of course, there is the internet. This set of Compomotives I found on Gumtree, like a British Craigslist or something, just listed as VW Golf wheels. So definitely look for weird searches online. And then this set, well, let's talk about this set a little bit more in detail. So this is a set of magnesium Compomotive turbo race wheels. These were actually sold by a Jaguar dealership in South London. They popped up on the internet on eBay as a classified advert, which is very annoying. I couldn't just buy it. So my good friend David Kennedy from Performance VW magazine took his rent money, drove out to the dealership within a couple of hours, snatched them up. I then had to send the money from America to Britain before his rent was due, and they ended up over here. I did get them cheap. They were kind of beat up a little bit. Outer lips were bad, but I found this narrower set, so now we've got that tasty Euro look with the exposed center. Right place, right time, jumping, searching, having fun doing that. That's my wheel game. Before we get super nerdy, let's just very quickly just go over 1-piece, 2-piece, and 3-piece. 1-piece, no bolts, everything's cast and everything, you can't separate it. 2-piece, normally it means the center is 1 piece, the barrel is the 2nd piece, so 2 pieces. Alternatively, BBS RMs, we're looking at you, center and back is 1 piece and the lip is removable. So 2 pieces bolted together. Then we go up to 3-piece, the classic BBS RS. 1 piece is the center, the 2nd piece is the lip, the 3rd piece is the barrel. And if you want to see what they look like, here's some I just happen to have sitting around. So bunch of bolt holes, put them up to the face, the center, put the bolts through, 3-piece. Part 3, PCD, pitch, circle, diameter. What does that mean? the bolts, the pattern of that, 4x100, 4x108. What does that mean? 4 holes, 100 millimeters, or 108 millimeters, or indeed these originally were 5x130. That means the PCD was 5 holes with 130 millimeters across them that way. And it does vary what you're measuring, so double check. But you can change it. That is part of the fun of wheels. This is an original set of 4x100 speed lines. They are 15 by 6 inches or something. However, on an Audi 4x108, they were available with an extra ½ inch of girth. Not even going there. So we drilled them out, we put different slugs in. That's a very acceptable old school way to do it. Moving on, the Momo R3s, 5x130. These are now 4x100. And just like a lot of 3-piece wheels, they're multi-piece centers there. So you can see, welded the original holes, machined it flat, and then drilled new 4x100 PCD in there. Now, there are other options instead of just drilling. You can simply do adapters. Very simple. This is a nice set of 4x100 to 5x130. As long as they're well made, you can see these ones have inserts there, you'll be fine. We're also looking for hub-centric. That means that your wheels, the hubs are the correct size, diameter for your hub. 57.1 for Volkswagens. Every car manufacturer uses a different size pretty much, but make sure hub-centric if it needs it on your car. Measuring PCD is pretty easy. You can use a ruler or you can use a kind of fancy but basic and cheap tool. This one, 4 lug, 100, boom. That's all you need to do. Now, shout out to Wheel Whores. This is who my shirt is from. They also make a keychain version. So if you're rummaging around a junkyard, you can just have that sitting there if you are a complete, proper wheel whore. But any tool, even a ruler, will do the same thing. Step 4, thinking outside of the circle. Honestly, sometimes going a little bit left field on this can give you some interesting wheels for a lot less money than you would otherwise think you'd have to spend. This set of teardrops are not the OEM Volkswagen 14-inch. This is a Nissan set, which were given to me free by my friend when he was building his drift car, so thanks, Benny Obscene. They are PCD 4x114.3, the Nissan bolt pattern, but you can see a simple redrill to 4x100 and a custom center cap will give me a really unique custom wheel that on a show field anywhere in the world would look pretty darn good. Then we go into making your own splits. This is a Golf Rally wheel, 15 by 6.5 or something, but we cut the back off. Now it starts to look like a 3 or a 2-piece center. So a little bit more machining there, have to machine down the front and then have to drill bolts. This is a BBS barrel, so this is for a 2-piece wheel. So I think you can see where we're going with this. It has to be machined, but we're going to take a 15-inch wheel, drill it, machine it, everything, and then it will go to a 17 by 8-inch using BBS hardware. Are BBS going to give you a warranty on this? No, they're going to tell you never to do this. Hello, all the lovely people at BBS. Is anyone going to give you a warranty on this? No, you are taking your car and your life into your hands, so you might want to do this with a Dremel maybe, but for me, I have some engineering that we're going to do. I'm going to machine and weld reinforcement into the back between the drilling. This opens up a world of ideas and coolness, and genuinely the guys in South Africa are upstepping single-piece wheels by welding on bigger lips. I've never tried that, but again, unique, cool, as long as it's safe, have fun. Which brings us on to my final thing for outside of the box, and really, this is, think like a 60s or 70s or 80s car tuner. Steel wheels. If you haven't seen banded steels, you cut this section here and weld in a band of steel. So go Google that later on. Otherwise, let's take a look at a normal, brand new, but generic Volkswagen Steely. You can see it's welded here, here, and around. So really, this was a 2-piece construction. One piece was the center, the second is the barrel. So if you cut these welds off your center, you can now move and change your offset, which is a bigger conversation for a different day. Or you can weld it into a wider one, which is very cheap. 2 sets of Steelies, a wider set, the centers you want, change your offset. That is not a lot of time or money, but you can have some really unique and great looking wheels relatively cheap. I'm a German car fan, not afraid to admit it. Yes, I have Japanese cars, but Volkswagen is where my heart is, but that doesn't mean that I don't love Japanese wheels as well. I've been very fortunate to be able to visit the work factory multiple times. And indeed, this was the very first set of work equip 40s put on any car in 4x100 and outside of Japan and outside of the work family. To make things a little bit serious just for a moment, the first set went on the owner, the founder of Work Wheels after his death. The car was presented at the Tokyo Auto Salon, so there was a beautiful blue Triumph. Yeah, I talk about junkyards and stuff, but genuinely thank you to the wonderful friends that I've made around the world based on wheels. Thank you for letting me share in my passion. Now let's move on to a slightly lighter subject, Brazil. If you know about the Brazilian wheel, and I'm pretty sure in the comments I'm going to get some flack for this one, this is the Orbital. This is the quintessential wheel in Brazil. Originally made by Volkswagen in 13-inch and 14-inch, now it is made in every possible width, diameter. It's absolutely nuts how many cars down there run it. This is an aftermarket 16-inch set that is super narrow, so you can run hyper deep, just as low tucking rim as you possibly can. This set has been color matched, but to put my own spin on it, I found a metal cap at a friend's wheel refinishing shop that happened to just about fit, so we machined that. So it's, again, slightly customized in a different setup than anyone else would have, Brazil or the USA or Europe. And that's what makes wheels so fun. It's an accessory, it's your car's shoes. Have fun with it, try and think outside the box, see what you can fit, what you can find. There might be more sets of these in Brazil than there are cars in Brazil. And in a car-mad country, that's saying a lot about the little Orbital wheel. Part 6. Wheel controversies. What is a real wheel? What is a fake wheel? Can you have a fake wheel? Are they not wheels? Okay, this is a set of 15-inch 1552 Snowflakes. 1552, a well-known company, etc. They took the original 14-inch, upsized it, made sure it was up to their quality standards, whatever else. This is not a fake wheel. This is an homage. However, if you added fake bolts to it, a lot of people, possibly myself included, would not like it nearly as much. First of all, for me, fake splits, the fake bolts, I hate the fake bolts. Just, ugh. However, your own choice. I understand if you want it visually, whatever. Have fun with your wheels. Don't let me or anybody else possibly make you feel bad about it. What I'm trying to do is encourage. So I want to talk about finding junkyard or finding Nissan wheels cheap and just having fun doing something unique, which is why I personally think buying a set of replicas with fake bolts or something, which are against copyright or anything else, doesn't really add anything unique. So this is a controversial subject, but let's make it more controversial. Fitment Industries. Love those guys, enjoy their videos. They talked about a couple of my cars, etc. They did a couple of sponsored videos with BBS. They talked about an RS. Why don't BBS make RSs anymore? Oh, because they would be too expensive. Yes, the RS is made up of multiple metal pieces and lots of little clips and things. However, they were always expensive. I have never yelled at a YouTube video more than that one probably in my life. These were always the most expensive wheels. They would still be today. Why don't BBS make them? That's a question for them. Can we ask that? However, when you look back through the 80s and 90s catalogs, these were hundreds and hundreds of dollars each. So when you complain or whatever, oh, it's $2,000 for a set, I can't do that. They were that price to start with at a time when for $5,000 you could probably buy a new running, driving car. These were just always the fanciest. They still are some of the fanciest wheels you can get. Genuinely, I think if you buy a set and put elbow grease, you might be able to make money or at least get all of your money back out. Whereas if you buy a random set of cast wheels, that's going to be much, much more difficult. And my final controversial opinion. Why do BBS RMs exist? They are less customizable. The barrel is fixed to the face, so they're only two-piece, RM two-piece, RS three-piece. The center caps are like normally plastic and it's hard to get the right finish. They're also notoriously soft. Having said that, they are fun, customizable. They were indeed factory options on a lot of Volkswagens and other cars. So, do I think they're great looking wheels, that they are fun? Yes, I do. However, I don't own any RMs because when the price of a set of RMs is the same as the set of a price of RSs, what is the point in having the two-piece that I can't change the offset or the back spacing nearly as easily? So, I want to apologize to all RM owners. Ralph, who probably looks like he's going to throw the camera at me any second now. They're lovely wheels, but why not RSs? I mean, If you want to keep your car original, okay. All right, I know you're yelling at me right now. Let's just, okay, I'm sorry. All right, cut. So, if I wasn't too controversial, I do hope that you've enjoyed taking a quick look at some of my own wheel collection, and hopefully you've learned something. The most important thing is just enjoy your wheels. It is meant to be something that shows your car off, or shows your personality, or your machining skills, or your painting skills, or whatever else, but please just enjoy and celebrate one of the most customizable part of any car build. Thank you so much for watching. Wash your hands, wash your cars. We'll see you next Monday for another car video.